cover two national and global issues on this platform. We speak to undiluted truth to power. I'm Wiki Broken Brooks, and certainly I will be joined by Gina Chanabi Senior. Together, we will take you up onto 10 o'clock, serving you breakfast, and not just breakfast, but palatable breakfast, and the promises to be stimulated, thought provocative as usual on this wonderful Tuesday morning. Welcome, folks. Let's have a jolly good time. First time watching, trust me, you love it, and keep watching, leaving all of the comments, and asking somebody to join you to listen by radio or watch on our KOOL Line 2 page. And it's good that we are all here this wonderful day. So good morning, folks. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Yeah, welcome back. You know, we have to be grateful always. You wake up in the morning, sunlight. Welcome, folks, to all of you on this wonderful day. You know, we are gradually approaching 2023, and 2023 is a stand-out year for Liberians, for politicians, and those wanting to be president, vice president, representatives, senators. We have to start working. And it's like some of our lawmakers have not been sleeping, while some been sleeping. They got people who always watch you. Most of the time, the electorates, they get carried away by the promises made during campaign period. You've been listening and reading a lot of reports that a lot of surveys been done of recent. The one from the Afrobarometer, you listen to the report, you listen to how people responded to some of the questions I asked them concerning about their own thought, whether Liberia is heading in the right direction or in the wrong direction. They were all divided on the issue of protest. They talk about their own belief in terms of corruption in from the judiciary to our legislative branch. They talk about the perceived perception of corruption at the level of the presidency, all of these things. There are others who say the report was politically written and came from the opposition camp, while others said it was fair, it was balanced, it was up to the tax. We saw that. NAMO, the pro-democracy, group, the NAMO partner for democratic development, civil society organization makes, now they have come up with another report this time around, pointing directly at the first branch of government, a legislative survey report on promises made by some of our lawmakers, by all of the lawmakers, whether they are completed, some of the promises are yet to start. Because some of you complain a whole lot. Oh, I can't see my lawmaker, see my lawmaker. We saw our lawmaker in our district, in our community, once during our campaign period. Since that time, we have no access. We have not seen him. We have not seen her. We go to offices. We're not, the district office closed. And all of these complaints are on the table on a daily basis. You open the phone lines right now, you hear people talking. And they talk all these things we have not seen. And somebody, so you call. Oh yeah, well, I'm calling from the abandoned district. I'm calling from the underrepresented district. So these individuals took into consideration all of the promises made by some of our lawmakers, and they're looking at them step by step. They've been able to put some of the lawmakers' workings on the table. They've been gradually watching it. During campaign, people will come and promise you that they will build bridges, scholarships. People will go to study abroad. They will build schools, clinics, and make sure that the government hospital or the public school in the district fully up to standard. Libraries and all of these things, market structures will be reconditioned, roads, connectivities. And all of these things are on the table, how they will be accessible to make sure those who are not on salary, they will make sure that these individuals who are voluntary will make sure that they receive all of these things. And after not knowing when you get there, and some of them spend more time outside of the district. There are people, they are represented. If you look at the listing, they are represented of the district, but they live outside of the district. And we are not talking about those who are residing, those representatives outside Montserrat County, but talking about those who in Montserrat County, because it's just common among our lawmakers in Montserrat County. They live in District A while they are representative of District B. Who do the people run to? What's the assets? They got all of the properties in another district while they live in this other district. And that is common. And during campaign period, these individuals will promise everything to the people. And the electors get carried away by all of the nice words they usually hear. Oh yeah. When they hear this, they all get involved into the matter. So NAMO have given her a report. And according to what they have put up, Eddie Jawolo saying, so the put up report for Bon, Montserrat, Nima, and River G counties. So Eddie Jawolo disclosed that the performance report, campaign promises made by politicians a little over 3 years ago. And he said, can you imagine? He talked about this issue of then representative of Grangeville County, Zoe Emmanuel Pena, who made a couple of promises, but been able to go ahead to make sure that these promises, like he said, according to the report, the campaign promises made by the politician little over 3 years. And he said, Zoe Emmanuel Pena, then representative of electoral district number 1 in Grangeville County, made 7 campaign promises, completed 6, and 1 is ongoing. You see? So now the people have seen Senate many promises. As a result, so he's now being given a chance to be representative. Senator of Grangeville County, the father here, he made him promises. He made 7 and completed 6 and 1 ongoing. So no, but then this man can be senator. And that's why he won the May 10th central election in Nima County, in Grangeville County, December 8th. And they also pointed out that in Montserrat County, Rustling Dennis of electoral district number 4 made 8 campaign promises and not completed so far, and you pretty close to 2023 where she will be hopefully recontesting, or not to say I will not. But this is good to put these things where people will come in defense. People will say no, the report is not balanced, the report is not fair, the report, I mean, she so some of the promises they made, some of them said will be breaches. We make sure that we will have 4-5 offices around in the district. Some of them did it. And scholarships will be provided. Our district development fund will be accounted for what the government been giving out. All of the lawmakers are complaining times or a number that they have not received. The 54 have not received. That has been taken away. I listen to Honorable Prince Joseph even pointing probably that all of the projects that they should be undertaken in the county development fund, district development fund, all being directed to President's project, so he takes all of the glory. And so Roslyn, all of the promises she made, none completed. And time seems not to be on the side. And they talk about calling to the report also pointed at District 11 Representative Richard KOOL of Electoral District 11 in Maserati County made 10 promises completed, 2 and 8 ongoing. Can you imagine 10? And you have to go again to promise the people for the next election in 2023 because some of you want to go back. And according to him, Alexander Pur of Electoral District number 1 in Riverview County made 7 campaign promises, 6 completed and 1 stay ongoing. So the people outside of Maserati, lawmakers, according to the report, seems to be doing a marvelous job, But let's listen to Eddie when he read all the report on yesterday, so you get a clear understanding exactly of what he said. And we'll go into the discussion and you get to know how.
In Bon County, we have Representative Member Breeze Mesa of Electoral District number 6. We tracked 13 promises of Representative Member Breeze. 5 are completed. 8 promises are ongoing. Representative Robert Wongwe of Electoral District number 4, Bon County, will track 12 promises. 5 are completed. 6 promises are ongoing. 1 have not started. Representative Prince Moy, now Senator of Electoral District number 2 of Bon County, made 7 promises, not completed. 6 are ongoing and 1 have not started. In most of the county, we have for Representative Rosalind Stenning of Electoral District number 4, 8 promises were made, not completed. All 8 promises are ongoing. So she's making efforts across all her promises. Representative Richard KOOL of the Electoral District number 11 made 10 promises. 2 completed, 8 ongoing. Representative Samuel N of Electoral District number 6 made 5 promises, not completed. All 5 promises are ongoing. Nima County, we have Rosa Ruma of Electoral District number 7. 8 promises were made, 1 completed, 6 ongoing, 1 have not started. Grand Julia County will track only 1 lawmaker with Representative Zoe Mario Pena, now Senator. He made 7 promises, 6 completed, 1 ongoing. Very impressive. And Representative Alexander Poole of District number 1 also made 7 promises, 6 completed, 1 ongoing. But basically doing anything to promote the performance of our lawmakers. Of the 77 promises, 23 promises are rated to be completed, 42 promises are ongoing, and 12 promises are not started due to the lack of available data to assess any progress made. So in general, majority of the promises focus on the provision of basic social services.
Okay, that's Eli Jawolo that's speaking. You talk about the provision of social services. That's what the people need, and they're one of the main concern. Most of the time, people talk about farm to market road. They want to have good health care delivery system, good education system. Talk about security and all of these things, taking all of those things into consideration. And this is now where we actually find ourselves, and a lot of concern being raised on this issue. So all of the promises, to make promise here is one, and to make sure that these promises are completed. He talked about Rosalind, all of the 8 promises not completed, but ongoing, meaning that she's making some frantic effort, but time seems not to be on their side as you may think that you can go to bed sleeping. So the promises could part of if you do not complete the ones you made earlier in 2017 and in 2023, and you try to get involved into it again to add up, and while you're making excuses at the same time making some of the promises. So these are to track all of the promises our lawmaker made. over the period of time. So sometimes you see this report, a report that should even guide you in the process and not just be responding to it, because you sometimes you see surrogates will come and say, pointing finger that this report. Because if they make a report on the CDC government promises made before coming to power during the campaign period, there are promises made and promises made during campaign and promises that were made after campaign. Even our lawmakers up to this time, they are still making a lot of promises still. When they get into communities and other places, promises are all being made across. They get there, it's a look, trust me, we're gonna make sure that we will build the bridges, public school will be built, and too many things and too many problems. Sometimes they make individual promises to people. At the end of the day, it becomes a serious problem, and people demand for a report. Yeah, we want our legislative report, and someone then come on a serious criticism before actually coming up to speak to some of the issues. But welcome, folks, this morning. Shortly, I'll be joined by my colleague this morning on the platform, and together we will talk about some of the high things. So wherever you are, it's going to be good. But I'm grateful this morning. I'm grateful this morning. Grateful. SG Records.
From the heart of Bisbee, this is KOOL 91.9 FM.
Sometimes I cry.
The first time I saw your face, I knew I was in love. Baby, your smile takes my breath away. And they can say what I want, girl, I don't mind. As long as you are by my side. Baby, you smile like paradise. Baby, girl, come be
lawmaker. They see being a lawmaker in Massachusetts as a big bluff thing, and most of the time when they are feeling at the end of the turning and they want to be re-elected, they come back with all of the excuses, and the elections at time get carried away. So now you see so many lawmakers.
Let's talk about red stone throw here, Rostalin.
That's why you see most of the time I play this song called, about techno, forget about the big thing and talk about the small thing. The promises are made. Now, you listen to Eddie there. She made 8 promises, not completed, but ongoing, because simultaneously you want the projects to go on. So at the end of the day, once you're not smart and time will not be waiting for you, you find yourself just at the eve of the campaign again in 2023, and you will have to add up to those promises you made, because you have to reconvince the people, tell us, look, we have done this, we have done that, and we promise to do that. We even want to do more. And the people keep looking and looking at the project, some of the commitment that you made, and you want to recommit yourself and even add up to those things, and it becomes a serious burden for you.
Serious, and she is one of the youngest there, and if not the only one, but she is one of the youngest. The legislature, the roster in Swako days. One at a time, people say sometimes you listen to the call. I'm calling on the most abandoned district. And honor representative district, and see, sometimes it's good. Do these things one at a time.
And you listen to talk about one of your female colleagues are well, Mema Briggs, doing well.
Mema Briggs,
yes, we have done. Talk about Zoe Emmanuel Pena, promises made. He's completed. Then. And talking about other lawmakers, and that's good. I think when other lawmakers start to read a report from the colleagues, you all here, you come to the Capitol building, you're in the Maserati, while you're whining and dining, your colleagues are working.
They're working. Look, just back at this stage, the man making 7 promises, completing 6 of them, and he had 1 ongoing. So at the end of the day, he might just complete all and start to do other ones that he never even promised the people. Then the people will say, now we are happy about even re-electing him or electing him at the upper house.
But now sometimes you see when this kind of report comes out, instead of our lawmakers and their supporter take it, they squash it, they turn it off and mind and get at people who wrote the report and call them all sorts of names, and not looking at some of the trending issues, some of the cool issues that are on about the report, and ask yourself the hard question. Now, is their report realistic? Is their report speaking to the reality? Probably some of you are relaxing. You are giving the tax to others to do the job. You get to know what are they doing during the campaign period. Sometimes you gotta know. You know because some of you go on Kino. You cross river. You went to villages and town next door because you needed the votes, and you are not being able to go back. You went there. You promised the people you are going to give them clinic. Some of you promised bridges in some of the areas that you went across the country, but you have not been able to go back to ascertain. Probably you have said storms, low or snare, and other things that you expect that these bridges are already done, and you are not being able to check. So it should be something that will reawaken your spirit, man, and go back to some of these places you went. Or else people who you are just sitting and relying on that they're doing the job out there for you, you will be surprised when you wake up to smell the coffee and there's no time for you.
You'll just be surprised. And that's the time you could cut all your pens down and you say, wow, if I had known. You see, look at Alexander Pori of
River G County.
Yeah. He made 7 promises, 6 completed, 1 is ongoing. Mema went there, she said she made about 13 promises, but she's working up. 5 of the promises are completed at this stage. Well, good. 8 is ongoing. Yeah. And she once she have done at this stage, completing 5 of them, she can work up to the rest of the 8. But to see our lawmakers, even my own papa said, someone end up, he too working hard, but he still got the promises ongoing.
Yeah, he got a lot of promises ongoing and So other lawmakers, don't think you off the hook. They are bringing a report.
Yeah, they come to you.
The report is for representatives from there to get to the senator, the senators. During the senatorial race, those of them that made all the promises. Some of them, even though they're gone, like Prince Moe, he made some promises. The people saw it, put it. That's why back then he was representative. He became senator. So Emmanuel Pena in Grand Jida County.
Yeah, he's doing extremely well. and you know, many
You know, it's what kind of our lawmakers in Muscle rather get carried away by the guys who come from the rural part. They think the guys only come here for city life.
Mm-hmm.
These people are on their way back home regularly, making sure that they carry on the service delivery and making sure that those basic social services are returned in.
Look at man Richard Coon. He's making 10 promises, but you have completed 2. You got 8 going. And now like you said earlier on, instead of this people looking at the report as a means of looking at the projects that they have already earmarked and they have started to say, let me see how far is it. They will start to say it's politically motivated.
Not you're right here and I'm here.
Yeah.
We will start to receive defense teams from the various offices of our lawmakers. You know, they will be coming to defend the report that the lawmaker. And one thing, let me say something here. With all of the analysis, what we have seen over a period of time, because we've all been involved in the election in this country, and we are Liberians, people will get carried away and want to defend one thing. You know, most of the time during campaign, they promise the people a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And after the promises, all the promises they will make, when they are done, you notice something. They go on individual development and something for the community and want to see it as something that they promise the people. They say campaign promises. So if you became a representative or senator, and the people went to you and appealed to you to have the bridge repair, recondition, and you did it. Those were not some of the projects. Those were not some of the things that you promised. And that's why you see people pointing to this morning. The lawmaker build bridge. The lawmaker have been able to raise funds for this project. They are looking at those promises that were made during the or for which on those basis people saw you as somebody that could deliver. That's where, but not afterward you wake up and start doing things by heart, because sometimes some of you got something they call the quick impact project bit. You want to impose your own development on the people without consultation. Mm-hmm. Where public latrines should not be built, you ask for land, you put it there.
Hand pump.
The hand pump, at the end of the day, individual will clean it.
Yeah.
There
are a lot of evidence around, and you know, you start to do your own thing. People come to say, "So we want clean up campaign." Then you say, "Yeah, you support." Then you start to think that those are just your promises we made, and you are fulfilling them.
But look at some of the time when you go to see report, district report, when the lawmakers are put under serious pressure from the electorates in the district and say, "Look, we need to hear a report. We send you over there. We need to know exactly what you're doing there." What are some of those things? When they come to make the report, look in the report and see what some of the lawmakers piled in their report. They will be telling you about how many persons they buried. Mm-hmm. They tell you about how many persons who gave birth. They honor to, they were the one who write the cost. They foot the bill, and they be telling you, they put up individual things. When they will tell you how many weddings they were able to sponsor. You read the report, you see these things in the report.
Yeah.
And these are personal initiatives. So most of the time, legislative projects, are not distinguished for individual projects. Our lawmakers, and one of the reasons you see today, that's the reason you see most of the time they are not being able to carry on any project, and they've been complaining because they took a lot of legislative projects as individual projects, and they took the name and took the glory for it. So when government were allotting district funds, they were using it to develop themselves and develop project and taking charge of it and owning it in that direction and say, "Look, we put this together. I mean, I did this, I did that." And this is where we find ourselves right now.
Yeah. And I hope that it will send out as a clear message to them. 9 of these lawmakers are on the spotlight from Bonk, Mosorado, Nimba, and Roji, but the rest of the other ones are expected to unfold. This is now WEEKIE. This is not Nathaniel. This is a report from NAMO after carefully following all the development issues with regards to the lawmakers. And they are a pro-democracy group. They are partner for democratic development. They have had their report, and they are part of this report. They are now coming with their findings.
But there are more promises to come. Even ahead of 2023, we have already seen and listening to individuals who open it, stating that they will put their hat in the race to contest, and they have started to make promises. They have already started having series of meeting and meeting that constituent and talking to other people and seeing how best they can start to govern our forces to be a force to reckon with ahead of the time. And this is just what's happening in our country right now. This is just what's happening in our country. So we need to understand these things. And our lawmakers should see this thing and not something to wage attack. Because it's so difficult in this country for people to accept these kind of reports. They see that you're reporting that they are doing absolutely nothing, and they are just there taking taxpayer money, enjoying themselves, traveling all over the place and not enacting and making law and lacking the cardinal functions. So most of the time they will come back with stinging attack on those institutions. But if this report is pointing to opposition, pointing to government, you find a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, the report is 100%." So now they are now giving the time to have a sober reflection on yourself and say, "Look, what are the promises that made? We understand some of you have done so much. They are counting the promises you made."
And you remember the last time what even the report came out about the president, about his own promises, campaign promises made after, before, after the campaign.
The president and his government made 111 promises before and after. And today, of all of the promises, only 8% he been able to complete. Oh, everybody said no,
And now that their time, the lawmakers' time, people you elected. Now, they said, we are not the ones saying this thing. I continue to emphasize on this thing here. Because when we talk to someone, they say, "Oh, the way people talk this thing, this is it."
The report is
now,
and this report now, it's seriously pointed straight to most of the lawmakers in there come from the opposition bloc.
And if these early lawmakers were just sleeping, it's now time to put their feet to the fire. Now you understood that Rosalind Swakoko Dennis, they are also calling for district report. Some end of district number 6. They are also calling for district report. I think some news coming around the corner there. They are expected to give that report soon. But now NAMO have come with that one report with their performances.
And you have also seen and listened to the report most of the time from IRAD, when IRAD bringing a report looking at lawmakers, in terms of representation in lawmaking and all of these things, the cardinal functions of those who've been active, because there are others who go to section, then you do not even hear them speak. The report will come on them that they were never one day seen speaking on the floor, arguing something. How many times they spoke? All of these things are listed because user gave people money to make sure that these people not just go to sit there, but when the people send you over there, you got your cardinal functions, and you have to be on top of your game while you are there. You can be a lawmaker in 6 years as a representative, and when report comes that you spoke only 3 times. You spoke in 6 years. You spoke like 7 times, 10 times, and you were absent for like 50 times. You see the list of people who be absent from session. Some people are right in time; they do not even go, and some of them spend months outside of the country. You listen to the report where Senator Johnson and the other folks were arguing that I used to go to the ECOWAS Parliament, and he topped the list in terms of being due to his long absenteeism, he was the head of them in terms of the number absence he received. And they talk about flow fighters who are always present, those who attended section. You read the report quite recently. They talk about how many times people have been able to speak. To look at people who have spoken on the floor. And these people, sometimes you call some of the lawmakers' name in this country, people wonder whether they're there. And frankly, some of the names, you say what? They were not lawmakers.
I'm not a lawmaker. When a few of them names are circulating the corner, you get to know them. To be frank with you.
And I listened to Honorable C.B. Bashel speaking. He said, if you want to be a lawmaker, you go there, and he named targeted area that you should go to be speaker.
The speaker,
majority.
The ways means, He
said these are positions because the speaker, when you're there, you will decide who talk, what you decide, what comes on the floor for discussion, doing plenary, all of the section, all of these things. And for the way he spoke, it's terrible. That would be the target, and you think that's the only way you can make impact. Yes, so they were given a chance. So this report is squarely on the feet and straightly to our lawmakers who were named in it, and some of them they are waiting, they worry now.
Some of them they will start going to begin those projects that they never touch, or some of them are halfway. They will start going there and looking at it. But we say thanks to these lawmakers. We say thank you, Richard KOOL, District 11 Muscle County, Reverend G, Alexander Pori, Mayman Mensa, that is Mayman Briggs Mensa of Bond County. We say thanks to all of you.
Yeah. Zoe Emmanuel
Zoe
Penel,
Emmanuel Penel,
Robert
Robert Womba,
yeah, from the Prince Kemon Moy, and the
Yeah.
rest of the other folks.
yeah, and Rosalind Swakago Dennis. You know, it is now time that they look at this report very serious. You know, it's good that people will look at your work and critique you. Say, yes, from a distance, this is what we have seen. Don't look at this thing as being politics every time.
No, but not. Let me say something.
Yeah.
Let me say something to you. The strength and the skin that we have to take criticism. A lot of these folks, trust me,
Here you are.
officials of government are not willing to take this thing. As soon as you criticize the government, you all opposition. It's another thing that you've been bought. Yeah, if you criticizing government, opposition see you as somebody who is tough talking. Yeah, when you turn the gun to them, they say, "Oh yeah, well, government, I'm giving you something." So yeah, and if you look at individual in government officials, and you want to put out some of those, expose some of the ills for them, they see you as another person. So most of the time, if we were accepting the level of criticism and responding to them, we wouldn't be sitting in this chair today.
Yeah, and let's just listen to Eddie. Then right after that, we'll go through the lines. It is your turn to look at the lawmakers and also critique the reports. Let's go to Eddie Jawolo.
In Bond County, we have Representative Member Briggs Mensa of Electoral District number 6. We tracked 13 promises of Representative Member Briggs. 5 are completed. 8 promises are ongoing. Representative Robert Womwe of Electoral District number 4, Bond County, we tracked 12 promises. 5 are completed, 6 promises are ongoing, 1 have not started. Representative Prince Moy, now Senator, of Electoral District number 2 of Bond County, made 7 promises, none completed, 6 are ongoing, 1 have not started. In most of the county, we have Representative Rosalind Tennant of Electoral District number 4, 8 promises were made, none completed, all 8 promises are ongoing. So she's making effort across all her promises. Representative Richard KOOL of the Electoral District number 11 made 10 promises, 2 completed, 8 ongoing. Representative Samuel N of Electoral District number 6 made 5 promises, none completed, all 5 promises are ongoing. Nima County, we have Rosa Tuma of Electoral District number 7. 8 promises were made, 1 completed, 6 ongoing, 1 have not started. Grand Julia County, we track only 1 lawmaker with Representative Zoe Emmanuel Penel, now Senator. He made 7 promises, 6 completed, 1 ongoing. Very impressive. And Representative Alexander Poole of District number 1 also made 7 promises, 6 completed, 1 ongoing. But basically doing anything to promote the performance of our lawmakers. Of the 77 promises, 23 promises are rated to be completed. 42 promises are ongoing, and 12 promises are not started due to the lack of available data to assess any progress made. So in general, majority of the promises try to focus on the provision of basic social services.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
listen to him there.
You listen
With
to
such high number, you know, the number is so high, and with the promises 70 some more, you
Yeah.
add 20 some more, you know, the track to be completed. And let's say good morning to all of our folks watching us on our KOOL
Yeah.
Live this
Yeah,
morning.
thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful day, especially to somebody who have never been able to miss this show, who she celebrates a birthday to the Lord New. I will say happy birthday to you, and it's good that you are celebrating and watching us live. Yeah, trust me. Thank
You
you
are
so
where the
much.
party at?
Yeah.
Where the party at?
We appreciate every one of you for always joining us on the KOOL line and leaving all of your comments as well. Joining us on the conversation this morning.
And
you know,
invite others to also join by also
and
sharing
you
our
can share it
live
as
video.
well. You know, not just before we go to the live. I think our elections laws in this country, we need to critically look at it and see whether we need to have a reform and amend some of these laws. You know, it hurts when you get elected in the district and you no longer live in that district.
Mhm.
You know, I think we need laws on the book that will prevent people from such attitude, because this act is so terrible now.
It's wicked.
To be frank,
yeah.
you can be a lawmaker for district number 8, for example, and you build your house in district, and they will be moved from the district completely and live in another district.
Yeah.
You head for a district, you can't live on another district, a lawmaker.
Yeah. You know,
and it seems to be something so common among the lawmakers in Maserati. This is something of Maserati lawmakers, because the fact that those lawmakers will come from the Liberia County, we expect them to leave any part of Maserati, because that's their head office here in terms of going to work. And they go back to the people to make their report, and then go back to the district or whatsoever. But in Maserati, it's just a formal habit of people who become lawmakers in this country. They live in 2-3 districts. Sometimes in 6 years, the lawmaker have moved from the other district, they go to the other district, buy properties. Nobody asking you not to own property, but where you you get elected by the people, then you go to live on another people. People who do not even have a say how you become lawmaker.
Then you're hiding yourself.
Yeah.
Even we keep those lawmakers in the rural parts. Some of them will just abandon the county. The district will just can't live here to go there at war. There are just very few of them who are even from the rural parts that are in Muscle County that can go home on a regular basis. They go home, visit their people. They are there sometimes every month, sometimes every week, especially those who are closer to Muscle County. But some of them, oh my God, look at my speaker said, LIBERIA speaker. They recent time he went home. When you can go home? When you think you can really go Maryland? It's a difficult thing. And we begging you sometimes, while you are even on the side, take time to go home. Take time off. At least a month you go 1 time, 2 times. Before you observe, you'll be having interaction with your people. But you just abandon the area and you come in Muscle County, you live here, and some of them are living secretly. You can't even know that lawmaker. No. You can't even know that lawmaker, but he living there. You see, when he comes inside, park quietly, come home.
Then you get elected by the people. At the end of the day, you hire from the party before becoming a lawmaker. But the electorates, that's why we keep that. The electorates also are responsible. They are the author of their own misdeeds.
Yes.
And that's why people will mislead them. Because this issue of party sentiment, this issue of religious sentiment, tribal sentiment, is seriously damaging our politics of our country. And so at the end of the day, we elect people who will not fully represent us, because somebody tells you that party mandate. So even if this person is not the so because of party mandate, you fail to critique and check this person to know what this person has done and wanting to be lawmaker and what this person will do. Ask other people.
Just put out
go into communities that this person has lived for the period of time. Check other people who have worked with this individual. Look at the track record, because most of the time we get carried away by the issue of somebody telling you they are philanthropists. Amen. They may, most of the time that's where our electors are always missing the steps. The man down to earth, the woman down to earth. The person want power, you expect the person to be up there.
As soon as he gets the power, he abandoned those people. He no longer going there. Just very few of them that
and political institutions themselves in this country do not do well for the country. They just put anybody on the ticket without they themselves in the corner trying to scrutinize properly and say, look, if we want to be the change, that we want to see change, we should be the change.
We should be. We should lead by example.
Defending the wrong thing in this country is just a normal habit from government to opposition. Everybody come in to defend the wrong. The wrong is only wrong when it's not turned to you. It is wrong when you are not there. It is good, it is right when you are there. What was spoken against yesterday, today, all of those things are something good to do. Nepotism is something nice. Now, yesterday, radio told your caste protest yesterday. Now, these are the hard truth. There were funerals that were held for people before they even died. Caskets were being told. Protest after protest. Today, Protest is no longer the way.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we convince the people? When people are using protests to get results from government, and government seems to be submitting herself to such pressure, when she should be proactive, it's bad.
It's bad. It's bad. It's a
Lawmakers have been coerced before they make district report.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lawmaker homes been barricaded before electricity get to community.
Mm-hmm.
Individuals are succumbing to it, and results are coming. The government is submitting herself to all of these things, and results are coming. Until you can sit on the round table and talk to community leaders, dwellers, talk to the citizens that look, we got a better way to channel our grievances, we can handle matter, we can do this thing, we can get development done collectively if we put our hands on deck, other than making people to pressurize you before you come up with the result. Because there are others, it will start here, and at the end of the day, it ends in the rural parts of our country where people make demand that they too they are Liberian, and those counties and those districts are also part and parcel of Liberia, that they deserve to have electricity as well. And they deserve to have report for the lawmakers. Some of them, they have not been able to see the lawmaker. Why if they decide to come here in one day in the truck and come with the lawmaker to carry the lawmaker back home to go make report
to go make report, And like I said, it's a bad precedent they are setting. And they are the ones that will be affected by these things, because if they allow the electorates to find their way through with such an action, it's a bad thing.
Yeah,
for lawmakers, for government, it's a bad precedent they are setting for themselves.
You listen to the report for some of these lawmakers. These are the people who went at your doors. They couldn't give you sleeping time. They needed you to be with them. They promise you all of these things, and they will be coming back. It's time you graduate from the issue of party telling you who to vote for. Decide who to vote for. It takes you only a few seconds to make that decision in our booth, but you're gonna live with it for the next 6 years or 9 years. Decisions that were then made on December 8th of last year, you will have to live with those decisions that were made for the next 9 years. Pretty close to a decade. Whether this person will do the job or not, you have nothing to do with it.
You have to live with it.
The only thing that change it right now will have to be death.
And you see, that's the reason why yesterday on the International Women's Day, the women empowerment, they have launched this Women Rock the Capital, encouraging female vote for female. Yeah, let's have more women there. They now saying that they will embark on the Jiwa Women campaign, door to door, telling their fellow women who to vote for. And you see, you said this earlier on, the electors, we are the serious problem of ourselves, because at the end of the day, we make these people to end up in power and to turn their back on us. But we say, let's see how it will go this time around. They are saying they want these people to rock the capital. They want women to be there. Women should elect women and to find themselves at the hem of power.
But the politics serious disadvantages over our common people. Because can you imagine people, only because people are desperate and live in poverty, and when our politicians go out to campaign, sometimes some of the words they use on it to get the vote, telling you, even if it is dog, even if it is chicken on the ticket, go vote for the president. Don't look at you listen to the managing port authority, managing director at the time. He said, don't look at the individual on the ticket, look at the party emblem. Well, and people were there clapping. Electors were applauding him for making these kind of remarks in their presence, and nobody couldn't sit and pinch. And this was saying, what? So at the end of the day, some of you, because the party gave you the mandate, you get no access to the lawmaker. You complain. You only see them when the party is hiring something at the party headquarters. When you get there, you see so many people. Let's go to the line now and talk to our callers on the line.
Good morning.
0775-919-919,
Good morning.
Good morning, Natalia. Mr. Book.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you live.
Yeah, I'm calling from District 35 now, Pali Sharing.
You're welcome, Chief.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, my concern has been due to my country, my country, we let our senator go
Yeah, the Board of Commissioners will come out shortly to officially state who won the election. They are gradually talking about all of the area. There are a lot of complaining. There are others who complain that they were cheated in the process. So the commissioners, they are there, and the hearing officers, they are going through all of these things. But shortly, according to them, they will declare all of those complaints clear out, and they will declare the winners from all of the disputed counties so far.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people say it's going to go. Concerning our result, the answer was there is too bad. And everyone is going to do to us. People will know from what it is very bad. For our common people now, they are ready to be solution with the children. They reach very bad. From the job to come the answer.
Who is the lawmaker there?
My school.
But you got senators as well from the county. I mean, so they can use the lobbyist power and talk to the Ministry of Public Works and fix the road. That's the function. They do not have to put money, put their hands in their pocket, and that's one big mistake most of our lawmakers go on making. Yeah, Councilor Sherman there. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. Let's talk to other callers this morning. 0775-919-919 0880-919-919. Good morning.
Hello, yeah, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah, I just have a very much concern.
Go ahead, Chief. Let's hear you.
Yeah, what you guys are saying are facts. Some of you know that actually they have that information, but equally so, from when you know because they don't have to be blamed actually. Because they can't be developed for the president that budget everything himself. So some of them will be so happy and for them to develop the country. That is some of them rely on the development fund. And the president.
But the lawmakers, let me just say something. The lawmaker will sit there, they will pass budget, and after that, they see the president carry on a lot of projects, and nobody there asks the president where the money coming from. You got to give the source of income. Where the money coming from? The president buying transformer. Where did the money come from? The president is doing this one. The president's project and the county development fund being put on hold. District development fund on hold. But all of the projects in the name of the president. So you expect the president has to go on and make sure that
and there are the same people that authenticating the projects, the funding, the pass the supplementary budget. The president go about using the money.
Hello. Even recently, the customer complained a lot of this sort of thing. Because the president they have it selected. He's about to development fund to his appeal. For the trustees, because it be very good and exactly all about the company. Yet they won't complain, they can say, the president change of power. This is number 10. What development fund has never mentioned to position of the thing.
Where were they? Where are they?
Okay, thank you so much. You know, now, like, they sit there, and when so many reports come out there that they do not even speak, when they counting the number of times they spoke, then they want to get vexed at the time they come out to speak. Yeah, you sat there, we saw Honorable Buffer Chima lighting the street of Plibo. The city of Plibo putting the light on. The president was there inside stand, putting the street light on. Where the lights come from, the money, whatsoever, nobody cares. Development is good. But if you sit there, your district will be in deplorable condition because you will lack the ability to lobby to get a development for your district, and your people will remember you that you did nothing.
You did nothing.
So sit there and don't do nothing. Sit there and don't talk. Sit there and don't make the move. That one man be stealing the show. If you relax, you lie.
Good morning, Jason Beaver and Ricky.
Yeah, to welcome. Let's hear you.
My name is Deputy I'm calling my medical resident this morning, my brother.
Go ahead, Chief.
Thank you for the discussion on the table this morning. First of all, let me say a very big thing that I appreciate to Marco representative for the first district governor, accompanied on the way to the former deputy speaker, because the good men that are is consequent every day, every week, every month. No, let me tell you, all of the non-members that are people promises to carry on developing the history, to get the house and because what we when the marketing way of Bachu or every Mexico away and from last year, they have a project called the legislative project for change the community to power. Well, some of our study are waiting for last year. All of those things are far that nothing is not really here for us. So I want to say thank you again to my representative of Bachu.
No, but the fund come from national government. That honorable fella get a lot of money to district.
no, Papa, if you tell us with me, as well as sometimes when you have the need, I need to tell each you on the table for the discussion. So, about here is see, I'm not that the zero district, the zero country. See, even in Mobile, in our district and the move, the going another district. Let's see, reason that for the club, especially when the person was going with where I know the person.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's talk to other callers. We said we don't like the terrible feedback.
Okay, let's talk to other callers. Good morning.
You want to be in the north and you want to talk.
Good morning,
Good morning, let's hear you.
I think close to number of the social where we say. My attention then June to my own representative from your era. Can you imagine doing capital and only promise 5 promises can be promised and you can fulfill none of this up to now? You have just a year to another election. I think that's the latest I say, and for representative, let me be bold you and just focus on one school. African dream, that's all. That's your whole focus. And you will focus on that one school to everything. In fact, the national budget will be allocating money to him. Donors for the clear. What is that? Promises that he made to the district, to the people of district number 6.
Now, Oscar.
Yeah.
What were some of those promises, if you can remember, that he made to the people of the district up to this time he has not been able to fulfill? You care to tell us?
I can remember a bridge. A community bridge I had promised to link a single village around Bonja area. You know that area can be sorted off. So they have a very chance that he promised a bridge up to that. Hey, I'm not really yet started because you have to wow and see and you have 5 years and you have to delay that. I can tell you for free that somebody will not complete the project on the.
Yeah, but that's why the report said. I mean, all of the promises he made are ongoing, but not yet completed.
Yeah, but the ongoing, some people will say ongoing, and you look at the project above far, at the point of completion, of people working and will make sure that they're completed. But I deliver bridge, I'm talking about nothing ongoing there. So maybe an example salary, try run it to get it checked. But that the later you focus on the school. The school, you will build a school, grandfather will allocate 200,000 in budget just for his clinic. And then people are best for them as donors. Averaging dream is being for them as donors.
Okay, thank you so much.
But even the children in the school, donors.
Thank you. You made your point this morning. Thank you. You made your point. Let's go back and talk to other callers who are on the line this morning. Don't hold the line, please, folks. Yeah, don't hold the line. Let's go back to the caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nat and WEEKIE. And good morning to our fellow people of district number 6.
Yeah, Luther Saki, you're welcome.
Thank you for the recognition. Thank you for the really commenting very kindly this morning. You know, I listened to our report last night on True FM. And this morning, let me comment you beginning all again. You see, our representative will come to all kinds of street malls. I will empower the youth. I will give scholarships. Just over me, I'll be your smooth preaching and riot. You know, there's a term, the 3 years that I have remained behind, there's a time for them to push up more motion because they didn't do this. And so I want to call upon Sammy Energy this morning. I know he's doing well. But then he pushes out something that he told church. That he promised all doing the campaign time. He has not touching you. I'm not saying he's doing anything he's doing, he's trying his best. But then he push up more.
Okay.
Where to do the campaign time, he promised me to do, he promised me, I'm not in touch, nothing is. Nothing. He's not just saying it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much this morning, Luther Saki. And let's talk to other callers this morning. Thank you for being a part of the program. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
And morning, Liva and people.
Good morning, Manuel Tosia.
Thank you, Nash, for the announcement. I want to appreciate our panel in program and Nim and Namo, and that is in the spirit of good governance, and we think Your analysis and your reflection you made this morning is quite excellent. Calling upon the report those promises that have been made to the people so that they can be able to fulfill that, because these promises that Nemo have said, basically all are in terms of the social development and the how the life of the constituent and the district in which the residents can be improved. That is good because, according to international standards, the best lawmaker is the one that seeks the needs and the views and aspirations of his constituents. And we hope that they will fit into this for us, will fit into this, and we will work around it to see best the needs of our people can be met. So that's why we are embracing that. We highly appreciate their work to work in a spirit of good governance. Thank you very much, my brother, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Brooks.
Good morning. Patrick Flomo.
Thank you. For the public, my name is Patrick Flomo. I donate from school. Now, the question now is for the study people. This question, because the balance has noted and the response for the answer is this group of people learn lessons from the past. The reason why every time we go to election is to clear up all of them is because you seem to be a leader of them. Something that is going to take a role. Then when I gave you a vote, then sometimes you tell me that it's something that somebody doesn't go back. I'm saying that somebody doesn't do this before, they don't have vision with the people. But the other thing is, the people that go back, and they tend to tell the people there, it is not it's not part of my function to build a road. But you're talking, you're going to build me a road. You do understand it was never part of the function. So now what is right? If they tell you they can't have the post for the poor on this report, many of them will come out and say, this is not part of our council system. But it is not part of the council function to build a road. And everything, it is not part of the council function.
You knew fully well it wasn't part of the cardinal function, but those are the message you are carrying to the people.
Yeah, you promised me. And quickly to start with you. Yesterday I listened to the protest for this legislation, and the guy who spoke, the spokesperson, I think he said something very serious. He said, during the election, the December election, they want to show us that he was going to intervene to show that our place is like them. He said, but the practice now, when they don't think people to the president that does his responsibility. But why you promise the people at the time?
Yeah.
It is not part of your capital motion. But why you promise them? Because of that promise, they committed their vote. And you knew that was not part of your function. Now to deliver on what you promised, when you get back to the question and say, that is not my function. So if they still vote against them in the election, because of that, the properties are not educated, they don't know what the function of a legislature.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you. Nan,
Yeah.
I like Liberians, most of the time we are short on history. We quick to forget. You remember the last time around when Namo brought the report out concerning the president promises that he made? Patrick was one of the colors who condemned the report. Today, the report is splendid. You hearing it? Because the report is not pointing finger at the executive. The report is not pointing finger at the ruling party. The report is getting at individuals, lawmakers, and most of the name from the opposition black. So the report is now splendid.
Yeah.
You heard the adjective used. The report is splendid.
Well, yesterday it was
a politically motivated report.
Something. Let's talk to one of the callers in the line. Let's talk.
At least
we get right because that was exactly what you said, and we can recall all of these issues. Today, now this report is splendid. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pascal Davis.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let me also appreciate your point for the discussion this morning. Frankly, the report didn't tell us as to the name of those projects that are ongoing. If you say for us in the state that we end up making 10 promises, and 2 of those promises have been completed. It's ongoing. You needed to have those projects that are ongoing. Because I can say to you, LIBERIA is a mistake. We are yet to find that any project that is further ongoing or undertaken by referendum. We got to be very clear. Besides, somebody asked you that there have been no form, and which is not true. You can recall, I want to believe that you got the memory, the retention memory. All of us have debated on the issue of the Summer Union money, which each lawmaker of a particular district received $200,000 for that district. Has that money been implemented? Absolutely no. That's what they say. Somebody told you about the promises that the end of May as it relates to constructing bridges. On the GSA intersection rehab that are laid, so the simple village, you must have to construct almost 3 to 4 bridges in order to have the single village to that of rehab connected. Are those projects being initiated? Absolutely no. So I mean, I've had my own power for the report. When people will come out of the river before report that have to shape the way we are, we got to be very clear. For you to tell us that 8 of those promises are ongoing, I think it will be realistic. You need to have all the needs of those projects or where the project has put them. When we end up giving and to the people of the state and make in fact the promises they made were more than the number.
Yeah, go and grab a copy of the report. The report is available. Go NAMO office not far from where you are. You will get a full copy. All of the promises are in there. All of the commitments are there.
Thank you, Pascal. Let's talk to you. Good morning.
Well, WEEKIE, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. I'm Prince Fulake. I come from District 5. Now, I think the report of NAMO just validated.
People talk about basic social services. Okay.
They just validated the reason for which I left the intellectual class of Kingsville, wherein making our summer in the best lawmaker of Kingsville, there was something that some of us found out, and I decided to change my letter of resignation because the identity cause of a war was politically driven. Quickly to the issue, my intention is mainly joined to District 4 Nima County. You know, the three cardinal function of the lawmaker, some of us reading beyond the.
And who's the lawmaker?
His Honorable Boku L. Kako. It was in that.
Well, he wasn't captured in this report.
Yeah, he replaced those numbers that had come up, but he replaced them.
There are more reports coming up.
Let's talk about the ones that are already up now.
Well, since you're limiting it to the one that came up, then if you look at our summit, out of 5 campaign promises, not a single has been completed.
It said all the promises that you made are ongoing.
Every year, now we say ongoing. For me, I'm only looking at it as a motivation. In this respect, if you go this respect now, this is really intense of body.
Okay. Let's talk to other callers. Sometimes it's good. Just speak to the topic in the ambit time of 1 minute. Good morning.
That is with your pleasant good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, to the chair.
Yes, sir. I like to say good morning to the people of the forum state. I come from the state as Victoria and David Shield. You know, that most is an institution that are all in high in. They are then coming out with credible reports which we trust and which we have confidence in. But there are 2 things that I want for my.
What's about this one?
No, in fact, I read this report and I accept this report in high esteem as well. This is why I'm saying I respect them and I respect this particular report and all other reports that have been coming out. Now, this is the thing. There are 2 things that I want for some people to know. We need to try to decentralize the entire discourse. They most does not follow people when they make promises for preaching. They most does not go when you say you keep wealth in the community. They most is concerned about those basic social services that we deliver to the people. Those are the key promises that they will hold in high. If I was able to give this much time to interview, fortunately, I was part of the process. Now, this is the thing. Lawmakers within that campaign have something we call manifesto or platform, right?
Mm-hmm. All of these things are listed there.
all institutions in the state that don't need to talk about the thousands of women that are in the African dream vocational institute that are benefiting that ain't ever education. What was security? Go and see the intervention. What was electricity? There are three things the people of this state ask for. And this is what people don't know because when people say they won't be represented, people are not going to tell you what they would do. You should tell them what you wanted to do. So the people of this state were impacted. They said they wanted water, they wanted road, and they wanted electricity.
Okay, thank you, Derechi. Y'all, you guys don't have the time to.
When y'all get your report, y'all gonna put all I want inside and tell the people here.
Yeah, definitely. Y'all can tell the people exactly what you people are doing. Let's talk to this caller. Your life.
Good morning, Mr. Brooks.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
I call for District 6. You know, it's lost in the government and that situation. You know, Mr. Brooks, District 6 is not a district who have a lot of issues here from people. We have the president living back in District 6. We have the former vice president living in District 6. We also have a lot of people living in District 6. But then I listen to one of the
Speak up, David. Speak up.
Yeah, I listen to one of the colors who tried to go propaganda on a retired end of things. And then when the public speech to scholar.
Just go to the point and leave the colors on the view. Make a point there. Just go to the point on the report and leave the colors view. Okay, I think he's off the line. We'll take three more. You're live.
Good morning,
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Good morning to now. This is Daniel Sullivan and John is conversation about King Breaking District number 6.
Someone go ahead.
You see, sometimes while it's true that we supported Honorable Ennis, we brought it to power and represented for our district, what we need to do the honorable thing to be giving the district report. Because the number capture, as for me, is 100% alright. Even more than our promises. We were in a campaign Banga in 2017. We know the promises we made. Also now, one of the promises are not completed. If you see a district office that you are constructing, the law of this country says go and see permit before you can start a project. They went and see permit to start a project. Probably when they are marketing, they say it is that policy because the letter won't be ready. I think these things are frustrating. So we need a district safety, we need a district report so that I can encourage those here and the rest of the Chiro guys to encourage our board. Let's see how best we get our district report and see what we're moving while we do.
Thank you so much. Let's talk to other callers. Your life.
Good morning, good morning, sir.
Yeah, let's hear you. Please be audible a little bit.
Yeah, okay. My name is Malcolm Mori calling from Machina.
You're welcome, Chief.
Yeah, we keep thanks for the supplement discussion, and I would like to say thanks to President Menabri and those kind of. But we also say some of you don't make us we share there and allow President we have to make them unpopular. Because things like those that carry on in your district, you will sit there, you put it in, at the end of the day, then you allow President we have the life of the speaker go in your district and start giving all the projects in their name. And at the end of the day, it become unpopular because all the people know the projects are carrying on is done by President Obia. We also say we on the level of representing the energy got a district, people say they got water, they got forest. None of these things in the district here. We can say I live well within the Bonja community here. Nothing here they are carrying on in the city, I can tell you. The man even came to a church here, or church where the people took a high-end money and went and bought him or gone. They got him, the man when he came to the church at the gate of the church, and so the people will get them $60,000. Since 2 years ago, people have rent beyond this $60,000 or done, but not given by the representative I'm talking about. The only thing you only carry a year, but then only his school in the hospital that he got here. So nobody should go and buy stable representative, either give the death representative, the other person alive.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me take the final caller on this segment. You're live.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Vicky.
Good morning, Josephine Nimle.
Thank you for the recognition. I'm Josephine Nimle and I call for years in this community. District number 6. And my attention has been shown to my representative, Representative Sandra.
Mm.
While it is true, I want to commend the senator for the representative for all of his efforts, but then we have to look at the report from NEMO, and it says that 5 of those projects, ongoing, none is yet completed.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to call upon my representative. It's quite frustrating to your constituents that they will hear all of your promises, one is completed, it's still ongoing.
I think
that.
okay, she was our last caller. She's going off the line on this one here. So let's take this break this morning, and we're gonna be right back, and I will come back.
From the hot of Painesville, this is KOOL 91.9 FM.
All the money popping down the country, we know where you go and you still want me.
As small suffer, well, oil is rain is son for Chawia business.
Oh, yeah. KOOL FM 91.9.
Keep your head up. What is happening
MC Caro. Caro. MC Caro. I know where, but don't ask me. I want now or there, don't ask me. And I know who say it, don't ask me. And I yeah, it's yeah, don't ask me. And I know where, but don't ask me. I want now or there, don't ask me. And I know who say it, don't ask me. And I yeah, it's yeah. I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance. I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance. I just want do my thing and I have for CCP. He said Caro, Ashin. I said Jack, I see something. What they now they see me. The Brabilla wait for me. I only get 15 minutes. Let me play till the fire finish. Oh my God, I got big ball, I got good ball. Look at money not there, but I get love. Why you want all the other niggas so back? Believe pump. I don't wanna hear no trash. Believe pump. Got your boy. See yourself.